The Los Angeles Dodgers just made a move that nobody saw coming. In a single afternoon, the front office announced the biggest roster purge of the entire season, trades, DFAs, and a list of names that sent shockwaves through the entire baseball world. 3 key players. Gone. Just like that. And if that wasn't enough to shake the fanbase to its core, there's something else happening inside that clubhouse that nobody is talking about yet. A jersey with a brand new number has quietly appeared in a locker. No name announced. No press conference. Just a jersey hanging there, waiting. And the question everyone is asking right now is, who is coming? But before we get to that, let's talk about what just happened, because the scale of this roster purge deserves to be understood properly. This wasn't a minor adjustment. This wasn't the Dodgers trimming the edges. This was a deliberate, calculated, and aggressive reshaping of the roster, and it tells us everything about where this organization is headed for the rest of the season. When the Dodgers front office makes a move, they rarely do it without a reason. Andrew Friedman and the front office have built a reputation over the years for being several steps ahead of every other team in the league. So when they simultaneously announce trades and DFAs involving 3 key players in a single day, you have to stop and ask yourself, what do they know that we don't? A designated for assignment is one of the harshest realities in professional baseball. It tells a player that the organization no longer sees a future for them in this uniform. And when you're talking about players who contributed meaningful innings, meaningful at-bats, and meaningful moments to this team, that decision doesn't come lightly. The Dodgers didn't do this because they had to. They did this because they chose to. That's an important distinction. Now think about what this means from a roster construction standpoint. The Dodgers are not a team that makes panic moves. When they clear this much space, simultaneously, deliberately, and publicly, it means something is coming. Something big. The front office doesn't create a vacuum without already knowing what they're going to fill it with. That's not how Friedman operates. That's not how this organization has been built. What was particularly striking about this announcement was the timing. We're at a point in the season where every game matters. Every roster spot carries weight. The fact that the Dodgers chose this moment to make this many moves tells you exactly how confident they are that what's coming next is worth the disruption. This is not a team that's rebuilding. This is not a team that's giving up on the season. This is a team that looked at the standings, looked at the schedule ahead, and decided that the current roster wasn't good enough to get them where they want to go. And that kind of honest self-assessment in the middle of a pennant race is both rare and powerful. Most organizations would have waited. Most front offices would have convinced themselves that the current group just needed more time. The Dodgers didn't wait. They acted. And that tells you everything about the urgency they feel right now. This is the part that really caught my attention, and honestly I think this is the piece of the story that most people are going to overlook because they'll be too focused on the names being moved out. But the real story, the story that actually tells you what's happening inside that clubhouse, is why Ryan Rushing gave up the catcher position. Think about this from Rushing's perspective for a moment. Catching is not just a position. It's an identity. It's the most demanding position on the field, both physically and mentally. The catcher controls the entire game. He calls the pitches. He manages the pitcher's emotions. He's the one player on the field who sees everything in front of him. Giving that up is not a casual decision. It's not something a player does because someone asked him nicely. So why did Rushing step aside? The most logical explanation is that the Dodgers communicated something to him. Whether directly or indirectly, the message was clear: someone else is coming to handle that position. And not just anyone. When an organization asks a competitive, professional baseball player to voluntarily move away from his natural position, it means the person coming in is someone that even Rushing himself can recognize is on another level. From a team chemistry standpoint, this is actually a very telling moment. The fact that Rushing apparently accepted this transition without creating a public situation speaks to the culture inside that Dodgers clubhouse. These players trust the front office. They trust the vision. When Friedman and the coaching staff tell you that a change is being made for the good of the team, the players in that locker room believe it. That's not something you can build overnight. That's years of winning, years of trust, and years of organizational credibility paying off. But here's the other side of that coin. From a competitive standpoint, Rushing now needs to find a new role on this team. And that transition period, however short, creates a window of uncertainty that the Dodgers will need to manage carefully. The last thing you want in a pennant race is a talented player who's unsettled about his role. How the coaching staff handles Rushing's transition in the coming weeks will be just as important as whoever walks through that door next. This is a situation worth watching very closely because the way it unfolds will tell us a lot about the internal dynamics of this team. Now let's talk about what everyone really wants to know. A jersey with a new number has been hung in a locker inside Dodger Stadium. No announcement. No name. Just a number on a jersey, sitting in a locker that used to belong to someone else. In baseball, this kind of thing doesn't happen by accident. Equipment managers don't hang jerseys for players who aren't coming. This is not a clerical error. This is not a placeholder. This jersey is hanging there because someone is about to wear it. And the fact that the Dodgers haven't made a public announcement yet means one of two things: either the deal isn't completely finalized, or the organization is deliberately controlling the timing of the reveal for maximum impact. Think about what a new jersey number in a locker actually represents. It means the paperwork is being processed. It means medicals have likely been cleared. It means this player has already been told they're coming to Los Angeles. The only thing left is the official announcement. And in today's world of social media and instant information, the fact that this has leaked, that someone inside that facility saw this jersey and shared it, tells you that the anticipation inside that building is already at a fever pitch. From a fan perspective, this kind of speculation is both exciting and agonizing. Because you know something is coming. You just don't know exactly what. And that uncertainty, that feeling of standing on the edge of something big, is exactly the kind of energy that can transform a clubhouse and reinvigorate a fanbase in the middle of a long season. The question now is who that jersey belongs to. And based on everything we know about what the Dodgers have just done, the players they've moved out, the position they've asked Rushing to vacate, the timing of all of this, the profile of who's coming is becoming clearer by the hour. This is not a player being brought in to sit on the bench. This is not a player being brought in to fill a minor organizational need. Everything about how these moves have been structured points to someone significant. Someone who changes the calculus of this team completely. Let me put all of this together, because individually these moves are interesting, but collectively they tell a very specific story about where the Dodgers believe they are and where they're going. The roster purge was not a sign of weakness. It was a sign of clarity. The Dodgers looked at their roster, identified what wasn't working, and made the hard decisions without hesitation. That's what championship organizations do. They don't hold on to players out of sentiment. They make the moves that give them the best chance to win. Rushing's position change signals that the incoming player is not a depth piece. This is not someone coming to fill a minor role. The fact that they've moved an established player to accommodate this arrival tells you exactly how highly the organization values whoever is about to put on that jersey. And the mystery jersey is the final piece of the puzzle. When that announcement comes, and it will come soon, the reaction from the baseball world is going to be significant. Because everything about how the Dodgers have handled these moves suggests they are not done competing. They are not managing the season. They are hunting a championship. The Dodgers have done this before. They've made bold moves at moments when other teams were standing still. And more often than not, those moves have paid off. This organization has earned the benefit of the doubt when it comes to roster decisions. But what makes this particular moment feel different is the combination of factors all happening at once. The purge. The position change. The mystery jersey. When three things like this align simultaneously, it's not a coincidence. It's a strategy. And whatever that strategy is, it's about to become very clear. The biggest question right now is not whether the Dodgers are making a move. That's already happening. The question is whether this move will be the one that changes the entire complexion of the National League pennant race. And based on everything we've seen today, the boldness of the purge, the significance of Rushing's transition, and the quiet appearance of that mystery jersey hanging in that locker, I think the answer to that question is yes. The Dodgers are not just making moves. They are making a statement. And the rest of the league should be paying very close attention to what happens next inside Dodger Stadium.